Lucha, 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 lucha. Lucha, 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 lucha. Oh yeah, right. Lucha Bros, WWE main roster. It looked like it was all set and done. We writ it in our wee workbook, folks. But now, a new update has emerged. And apparently, they've actually not signed on the dotted line yet. And it might not even happen. But there's been an update. And we're going to get to it. So, of course, Lucha Brothers. Let's talk about them. I don't like them. I don't trust them. No, not that I don't trust them. It's... Or... I was going to say, not that I don't trust them or like them. No, I don't like them, but... They're just two jobbers, man. Penta, El Ciro, Maido, and Rey Fenix do nothing for me. They will do nothing for the E. They're just two jobbers. I mean, they can stay in AEW if they want. I can't even remember the last time we seen them in AEW, but you know, they are one of the more recognisable tag teams from AEW, I believe, from like the first couple of years. I mean, you remember their matches against like the Young Bucks and FT. I say you remember their matches, but I remember the steel cage match they had with the Young Bucks. That's as good as it's going to get for them. But as noted, there had been reports stating that the popular mass tag team duo signed multiple year contracts with WWE. Right. Immediately, I'm thinking, why? Why would WWE sign like these guys up to multiple year contracts? To me, that's just absolutely baffling. You know, like, and where would they be going? Would they be going to NXT? Would they be going on to the main roster? I mean, I look at the main roster and it's like there's just not enough tag teams on it that are actually good. I think there really ain't. I think the roster's just made up of jobbers, to be perfectly honest. But while it is still expected, only one WWE source has claimed that neither have actually signed on the dotted line. Now, God knows where the sources came in that they had signed, so I guess you can take both stories with a pinch of salt, so we'll have to wait and see where that goes. But additionally, it was stated that there are some that believe Phoenix is in particular still technically under an agreement with AEW, and that the transition to WWE is not going to be as easy as some might think. For what it's worth, Phoenix and Penta still remain on the official AEW roster page. And according to Tony Khan, these two guys are a part of the greatest roster that ever lived. So, how brilliant is that, everybody? These two guys are part of the greatest roster that ever lived. Oh, get the popcorn out. Get the celebrations out, man. Get the tin of roses out. Oh, the lid came off the roses and we tanned them in small doses. Aye. Honestly, two jobbers, if we're being brutally honest, man. Two jobbers that have never really amounted to anything in their puff. And WWE doesn't really need them. Even though I say WWE doesn't need them, right? The tag division's awful, but at the same time, like, who are these two better than? You know, they would feel fresh for about 5 minutes, and then they would be as fresh as a banana that's been peeled and opened and fucked in the bin for about a week. That's the problem. Now, there has been talk of merchandising already being worked on for the duo, noting WWE is on the ball in this regard, whereas AEW was not in the past. It's not exactly correct. Its trademark and other legalities changed the dynamic in AEW compared to what is going on now. Penta reportedly told people this summer he was fully expected to end up in WWE and had already been in contact with the company. He also noted that he and Phoenix were a package deal and would be making the move directly to the main roster upon joining the company. So, you know, I get it, they're a tag team, right? But it's almost like, well, you know what, neither one's good enough to go to the WWE by themselves. But I mean, I don't get it. See Rey Fenix. I think Rey Fenix is the one that wears like the black makeup into and the white face. I mean, I would be lying here if I turned around and said that he feels like less of a big deal than Ricochet as well, but also, what do you call him? Andrade. Andrade's a fucking jobber, man. There's people out there that believe Andrade's one of the GOATs. Oh, Andrade just put himself in the GOAT discussion. Aye. Andrade put himself in the GOAT discussion by losing the LA Knight in a jobber US title match. Brilliant. Anyway, guys, I mean, I'm not all that intrigued for this. I'm sick talking about it. Even if it was at fully 100%, I wouldn't give a fuck about the Lucha Brothers. So leave your thoughts down below and peace.